Hello and welcome back to Read This Next with Laura and Nicole this week. Yay!
Yay!
We are kicking off Pride by bringing back Laura. Actually, I guess we kicked off Pride last episode with LGBTQ fiction. And this week we are doing LGBTQ comics because they have so many.
Yes. We're continuing the pride, joy, and excitement by bringing me back. Yeah. I'll just talk myself.
Yeah. So we're very I'm very excited. It's gonna be good. Just like old times.
It's nice to be back. I've certainly missed the hearing about all the new titles. Mm-hmm. So Nicole made this list up for us. I'm excited to hear what there is, and maybe it will even help motivate me to read more, because someone at home with a small baby, I have to admit I have done very little reading in the last 5 months.
Hey, things come up. Some things are more important than reading, if you can believe it.
Yes, that is true. That's true. Fair enough.
Yeah, I will say the one thing about obviously the people listening and watching don't know this, but Laura and I do like a lot of the work together. Laura made a lot of the lists, and she was posting to Goodreads and also on our blog. Now that she's gone, I'm doing that, and I'm like, oh man, I hope these are good. So I hope this is up to your standards.
Oh. I'm sure it will be delightful.
Yeah, this first one looks delightful, so let's get into it.
Yeah.
Okay, this first one is called The Princess and the Grilled Cheese Sandwich. The cover, super cute. It's by Dea Muniz. Okay, Lady Camembert wants to live life on her own terms without marriage. Well, without marrying a man, that is. But the law of the land is that women cannot inherit. So when her father passes away, she does the only thing she can. She disguises herself as a man and moves to the capital city of the Kingdom of Fromage, cheese.
Yes, that's what I
like that.
When she was Lady Camembert, I was like, isn't that a cheese?
Is it?
Yeah, I think so.
Oh, that's cute. So she goes to the Kingdom of Fromage to start over as Count Camembert. But it's hard to keep a low profile when the beautiful Princess Brie, with her fierce activism and great sense of fashion, catches her attention. Camembert can't resist getting to know the princess, but as the two grow closer, will she be able to keep her secret? A romantic comedy about mistaken identity, true love, and lots of grilled cheese. Yeah.
It sounds very like Shakespearean, gender bending sort of thing, right?
Yeah, a very simple premise too. I like it.
Yeah, I guess is that one YA?
Yeah, most of these are YA. I think there's maybe one or two that are juvenile, but they're all YA. We didn't get based on what I was searching, I couldn't find a ton of adult ones that were new.
Sure.
I will say that this one follows a theme that was coming up with a lot of the graphic novels. There's a lot of books about food and a lot of books about sports that came out this year.
Food, and sports. Okay.
I don't know why, but you'll see later there's another one about food. So, yeah.
I mean, I don't know if I would be the cheese thing. I don't want to say it turns me off, but it makes it feel a little
cheesy,
silly. You can help yourself, eh? Yeah, I don't know if that kind of maybe makes me less likely to pick it up, but I'm sure for other people that would be a draw.
For me, it's definitely a draw. This looks kind of like Adventure Time-ish, where like the candy kingdom, but this is a cheese kingdom.
I mean, I did read a really great juvenile book years ago called Hamish X and the Cheese Pirates.
I like that.
So I do know that cheese as a major plot point can be done well.
I love that.
All right, next one. Project Not by Chelsea Ferretti. Okay, this one's a debut. Ren Metal's last memory in the year 1996 is getting on a bus to visit his mystery pen pal, Georgia. When he wakes up in 2122, he thinks he might be hallucinating. ... He's not. Tech conglomerate Chronotech sponsors a time travel program to help students in 2122 learn what history was really like from real life subjects who've been transported into the future. And Ren is one of them. I have to say, that sounds like terrible.
Yeah. They didn't think about the ramifications of that at all.
Yeah, that's terrible. That seems like a recipe for trouble. But okay. And then like wow, maybe we're digging a little bit too deep into this like light romantic comedy. Let me finish the description. In 2122, Ren's life in the 1990s is practically ancient history. I would say it is ancient history. And Ren's not sure how to feel about that. On top of it all, he learns that his memory will be wiped of all things 2122 before he's sent back to the 90s. Okay, so they do send him back. Adding to Ren's complicated feels, he's forming a crush on his student guide, Mars. And when he crosses paths with the absolute last person he expected to see in the future, he has a bigger problem on his hands. What if Chronotech isn't the benevolent organization they claim to be, and he and his fellow subjects are in great danger?
Oh, interesting.
It's Elon Musk.
Yep.
That was my like quick, like, who is the villainous tech person in the present day that you wouldn't want to see in the future?
Elon Musk. He's been ripped from the 2020s.
I mean, he wouldn't be able to cause any more problems here. That's not so bad.
True. True.
Anyway, sounds fun.
Yeah.
Although it's interesting. Okay, it does say the description says that it is a fast-paced time travel adventure.
Oh, and it was started off as a webcomic.
Yeah, with a hint of romance. Because I was like, this is like a lot of plot. But I guess that's, yeah, a lot of plot. It's an adventure.
Especially
that sounds
for a graphic novel.
I know. Like, that's like a complex premise.
I wonder.
But
sorry.
Some webcomics like run for a long time, right? So that kind of does make sense.
Yeah. It's interesting that I wonder, just because it's image based, maybe they don't have to communicate as much, like what the, like, you know, when you go into a time travel, you're like, here's how it's different. Woo!
Yeah.
With this one, you can just
they can just kind of show and not tell.
Wow.
Wow. I do want to, I mean, I would read that novel.
Yeah.
I'll read the graphic novel.
There you go. Hey, if you're looking to get back into reading.
I know. Comics are a great way to do that.
Absolutely.
FYI.
FYI for those who don't know. Okay. This next one is also a webcomic.
Okay.
This is Crumbs by Danny, maybe Danny. I think it's Danny though. Sterling. Falling in Love Just Got Sweeter. See, we got another food one. In a very special town, there's an even more unusual. Yeah, I think I'm supposed to skip that first paragraph, so I'm going to do that. In a very special town, there's an even more unusual bakery with a selection of baked treats handcrafted to help your dreams come true. For Ray, a quiet young woman with special powers of her own, the order is always the same: a hot tea with a delicious side of romance. When Ray meets Lori, the kind barista who aspires to be a professional musician, she gets a real taste of love for the first time. But even with a spark of magic, romance isn't so simple. Both Ray and Lori are chasing their own dreams, and even when Ray starts to see the future, she can't predict her fate with Lori. I should not have skipped that first paragraph. It says, Ray, a young seer, struggling with her powers, discovers first love and friendship in her town's magic bakery. And that explains she can see the future. But yeah, it's from Webtoon, so pretty cool.
Yeah. I mean, I've certainly I feel like I have seen the food with magical powers thing plot before, but it's interesting that that's kind of mixed with sort of a classic romance thing where the two people come together, but then possibly their futures would lead them in different directions. So kind of combining those two different plot ideas.
Yeah, it sounds cute, and the art style looks like it'll be cute too.
Yeah.
Very sweet.
Okay. The next one, we move away from the cute.
Yes.
Yeah. Okay. This is called the Oja
I think
Waja.
it's Oja Woja.
Oja Woja. Yeah, that would make more
Yeah.
sense, wouldn't it? Okay. By Magdalene Visaggio and Jen Saint Orange. My apologies for messing up the title and the names. But carrying on, a coming of age story about the transformative power of friendship and an immortal demon with the power to take over the world.
Classic.
Welcome to Bolingbrook. It's a small town just like any other. Or so eighth graders Val and Lainey think. They're the best of friends. They love the same comics, they watch the same shows, and they're always there for each other, which is important when you're queer like Lainey, or on the spectrum like Val, and just don't seem to fit in anywhere. When a school project about their hometown's supernatural history leads to a for real ghost sighting, Val and Lainey realize Bolingbrook might not be as boring as they've always thought. But after a run-in with the resident middle school queen bee, who also happens to be Lainey's former friend, they decide to take things to the next level and accidentally summon the, what did we say, Oja
Yeah.
Woja? A demonic presence connected to a slew of mysterious tragedies throughout Bolingbrook's sordid history. Sordid history. Now all heck is broken loose
This is the
with
juvenile
the whole
one.
town with the whole town acting weird and nowhere left to turn. It's going to be up to Val, Lainey, and their small group of friends to return things to normal, if normal is even something they want to return to.
Mm,
Well, that sounds delightful.
it does. Yeah, the heck really solidifies that it's a juvenile
It
one.
does. It really like solidifies the tone, you know?
Yeah. Yeah. Very adventure, very
Uh,
Gravity Falls.
yes.
Mhm.
Yes. Very, very Gravity Falls.
I miss Gravity Falls.
Yeah, I like it.
Yeah, me too.
Hmm.
Okay, this next one, another food one.
You were right. Trendy.
Yeah.
Trendy.
Okay, Dylan Tang wants okay, wait. Dylan Tang wants to
You should tell us what it's called first.
Oh. Yeah, okay. So this is Fake Dates and Mooncakes by Cher Lee. Okay, now I'll tell you what it's about.
Okay.
Dylan Tang wants to win a Mid-Autumn Festival mooncake making competition for teen chefs in memory of his mom and to bring much needed publicity to his aunt's struggling Chinese takeout in Brooklyn. Enter Theo Summers, charming, wealthy, with a smile that makes Dylan's stomach do backflips, aka a distraction. Their worlds are sun and moon apart, but Theo keeps showing up. He even convinces Dylan to be his fake date, classic trope, we love that, at a family wedding in the Hamptons. In Theo's glittering world of pomp, privilege, and crazy rich drama, their romance is supposed to be just pretend, but Dylan finds himself falling for Theo. For real. Then Theo's relatives reveal their true colors, but with the contest looming, Dylan can't risk being sidetracked by rich people problems. Can Dylan save his family business and follow his heart, or will he fail to do both? So the top says it's Heartstopper meets crazy rich Asians, but I feel like it's
That's
more um, To All the Boys I've Loved Before mixed with
sure.
Crazy Rich Asians because there's fake dating.
Yeah. Yeah.
Or is
Yeah.
there
No,
fake
I
dating
can
in
certainly see
Heartstopper?
that. I don't remember.
I don't think there is. Correct me if I'm
Yeah.
wrong. This is one I haven't actually read, is that one, unfortunately.
Ah, sounds very cute
It
though.
does, and it has a corgi on the
Culture,
cover.
culture clash, you know.
Yeah.
It does have a corgi on the cover.
Yeah, and I love the coloring of this. It's super cute. I won't lie though,
Yeah. It looks
it looks
so
like a fiction book just based off the cover.
well. I mean, we've talked before about the trend with romance novels to have these like drawn, illustrated
Mhm.
covers. It's not surprising, that it's starting to kind of, it's hard to tell the difference.
Mhm.
Um, okay, this next one.
Oh, I'm so sorry. I gave you all the hard to pronounce ones. I think it's Grandmaster of Demonic Cultivation Modao Zushi.
Okay,
And the
you
name,
want
I
to,
can try it as well. Mojang
sure.
Tong Ju. There we go. And this is volume 1.
There we go. Feared and hated for his sinister abilities, Wowaxian, the Grand Master of demonic cultivation, was driven to his death when the most powerful clans united to destroy him. 13 years later, Wowaxian is reborn. Oops. Summoned by a young man who sacrificed his soul in a forbidden ritual. He is now bound to seek vengeance on the stranger's behalf or risk the destruction of his own soul. But when an evil entity emerges, a familiar face from his past suddenly appears amidst the chaos, a powerful cultivator who will help shine a light on the dark truths that surround them.
Cool.
Okay. You know, they're never truly gone, those demonic entities, you know?
Nope. You know what's interesting though?
There's always
This one's in the...
always some fool who's willing to bring them back.
Why? Just forget that they exist already.
Sure. But that sounds interesting. And that's a series ongoing, presumably?
Yeah, you know what's weird though is it's in the fiction section at our branch, but I don't know why because I'm gonna have to look at it, like physically look at it, because it's clearly a comic. It literally says the comic.
Maybe it's like an illustrated novel.
Maybe.
And kind of got put there by mistake. I don't know.
Interesting. But yeah, apparently it is a little bit of romance between the summoner and the summonee. So, yeah.
Power dynamics, you know, you got to be careful with them.
Yeah, and one of my teens read it and they can attest that it is good. I started calling them my teens. They're mine.
So, yeah. So we have a personal recommendation.
Yeah, they enjoyed it.
Nice.
Okay, so this next one we don't have yet, but we have copies on order. So
okay, very good. You can play this one on hold now. When it comes in, we'll call you.
Yes.
Or they'll call you. I won't because I'll be at home.
An automated voicemail will call you. This is Light Carries On by Ray Nadine. I remember to say the title. Wow. When Leon's camera unexpectedly breaks, he is forced to borrow a used one from his mom's antique store. As he snaps the first picture, the ghost of the camera's former owner is released, and the two are inexplicably linked. Wow. After taking Leon's body for an accidental joyride, the ghost introduces himself as Cody. Oh, he probably...
Accidental possession.
Yeah, I was like, inhabited is not the right word. Possess. Yeah, so he introduces himself as Cody, a queer punk rocker who died decades ago. Of course, he doesn't remember how he wound up dead, but the two decide investigating might be the only way to end the haunting. Leon has been reeling from a recent breakup with his boyfriend, recovering from his time in the military, and trying to become a photographer who can afford to take pictures of something more than high school proms and weddings. So being the only one able to see and talk to a ghost that died before cell phones, Wikipedia, or iTunes. iTunes seems like a dated reference.
Yep.
It's Apple Music.
Agreed. Yeah, it is. Yeah, that was a mistake.
Interesting. So anyways, that seems like a great way to fill his ample free time. The two get closer as they travel around Chicago, showing each other the landmarks of their pasts and trying to unearth the secrets around Cody's mysterious death. They discover they have much more in common than expected as they explore the complexities of life, love, and after death, taking breaks to jam out to tunes, hang out in planetariums, and slurp down tasty frozen beverages. How is the ghost doing these things? I don't know.
I guess he's probably possessing him again for the slurping tasty frozen beverages part.
Yeah.
I guess.
It sounds cute.
It does sound cute.
And
it does
clashing
sound cute.
Of two worlds again.
It doesn't. Sure. It doesn't sound that urgent necessarily.
Mm-hmm.
They're trying to solve his death, but they're also taking time.
Yeah, they're like, it's not that bad. I kind of like this guy.
Yeah. Well, that's fun. I mean, I wonder, that sort of thing, you feel like, how can there be a happy ending? Because if they're kind of falling for each other and one's a ghost.
Yeah. Have you ever read the Mediator series by Meg Cabot or Cabot?
I did not.
Oh, okay, well, that one is about a girl who falls in love with a ghost. And no spoilers, but I will spoil it because it's like 30
Spoil
years
it
old
because it's
now.
from like the 90s.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Somehow he turns into a human. And I was like, whatever. Oh, yay.
When you read it as a teenager, you were
I
just
was
like,
just like, all
yes.
right. This reminds me of have you now I'm just reference it just reminds me of other things. Have you ever watched Julie and the Phantoms?
No, but I have heard of Julian Phantom. It's supposed to be good, and sadly, it's only one season.
Yeah, it's very cheesy, but I liked it. I like just lighthearted things. So this is what that was. It's this girl who can see these dead punk rockers. I wouldn't say they're punk rock, they're a boy band, but yeah, same vibe, but this looks like they very cute.
And it also sounds like older, like maybe it's more new adult, right? Like
Yeah.
with him having already had like some military career.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah,
I wonder how old they are in this one.
I don't know. They sounded
I'm gonna
older,
Google it.
right? Okay, I'll do the next one, which is our last one.
Yeah.
And once again, food,
What did I say?
food. Yeah. Okay, this one is called. Do you say basil or
I
basil?
say basil.
Say basil. Basil and oregano. Mix 2 parts the Great British Bake Off with 1 part magical boarding school, plus a generous dash of romance, and you
Ooh.
have Basil and Oregano, a sweetly delicious graphic novel. Portabella Magic Culinary Academy is the finest school for the art of cooking with magic, and Basil Aries is determined to be the top student. On the first day of her senior year, Arabella Oregano, the daughter of a renowned chef, joins the academy for her senior year as well. The two are instantly smitten with each other, but Basil senses there's something Arabella is hiding from her. Still, the two work together to stand out from the class as the end of the year culinary festival approaches. But when Arabella's secret is revealed, Basil is faced with the hardest decision of her life, which has the potential to throw her future aspirations in jeopardy.
Yeah.
Sounds super cute.
Sounds
Just like a
delightful.
cute little, yeah, little
Yeah.
snippet. Magical school, always a good time.
And it looks more like it's a manga rather than a comic,
That's
which is
true, it
kind of
does.
cool. But I don't know, based on the author's last name, which seems
Could
like
just
it
be the style.
could be. Could be. It's very cute. But yeah, you know what? Now that I said it, I said that there was sports as well. I didn't include a single sport one. Check out Belle of the Ball, which is very good. Actually, we have a bit of time. Let me
Basketball?
read the last one.
Okay.
Belle of the Ball. No, I think it's soccer. Yeah. Okay.
Okay.
Yeah. So this is a young adult one, and you were correct. That one that seemed a bit older
Yeah.
is adult. So
Is adults. Light carries on is adult. Okay.
yeah. Okay, so this is Belle of the Ball by Mary Costa. Marie Costa. High school senior and notorious wallflower Hawkins finally works up the courage to remove her mascot mask and ask out her longtime crush, Regina Moreno, head cheerleader, academic overachiever, and all around popular girl. There's only one teensy problem. Regina is already dating Chloe Kitagawa, athletic all-star and middling English student. I don't know what that means. Regina sees a perfectly self-serving opportunity here and asks the smitten Hawkins to tutor Chloe free of charge, knowing Hawkins will do anything to get closer. So she's not academically
Gross.
achieving, she's a middling. I think
Yeah.
that's what that meant. And while Regina's plan works at first, she doesn't realize that Hawkins and Chloe knew each other as kids, when Hawkins went by Belle and wore princess dresses to school every single day. Before long, romance does start to blossom, but not with who you expect. With Belle of the Ball, cartoonist Mariana Costa has reinvigorated satisfying, reliable tropes into your new favorite teen romantic comedy. Yeah, so
That's cute. The
yeah.
girl who she likes sounds like a real piece of work, though.
Yeah,
Very
Regina.
manipulative. It reminds me of 10 Things I Hate About You a little bit.
Hmm. And the Regina will always harken back to Mean Girls.
Oh, yes, of course. You don't give that character a name and make them a nice person.
Yeah,
Sorry
that's
to any
sorry to the
Reginas out
Reginas
there.
in the world. Unless you're in a
Sorry.
book. If you're in a book or a movie, it's a choice. Real
It's a
world,
choice.
you're lovely. We all have
Well,
agency in the real world. Movies don't change.
so there's your sporting
Yeah.
one. In
Yeah.
addition to classic queer sports ones like Check Please, right? And then
Fence.
Fence. Yeah, those are good ones too.
Mm-hmm.
Well, I
Okay.
can hear my child has
Okay.
awoken.
All right. Well, then I'll quickly wrap us up and we will be done.
Sure.
Okay. All right.
Sure.
All right. Thank you everybody for watching, and thank you Laura for coming back to visit me and to do a LGBTQ episode.
My
Make sure
pleasure.
Yeah, make sure to check out our show notes at www.tbplofftheshelf.com. Follow us all social medias at tbpl. All that good stuff, like, comment, subscribe, and we'll see you in 2 weeks. Happy Pride. Bye.
Bye.